Do a flip. Hey, do that. Oh, careful, Lind.
Jared, he is an architect, and we have been married for 13 years.
Nice.
We have 3 boys. We have a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 3-year-old.
Zach, our oldest, he was a micro preemie. Man, he was born at 1 pound 11 ounces. He spent a little over 3 months in the hospital. He's kind of our miracle baby.
It was April 2015. I had taken the boys and we were visiting my mom in St. George. Just while I was there, I felt a lump.
Found a doctor that we felt would be a good doctor, large hospital up here, and we felt comfortable with it.
When we first initially went in, they said there's probably nothing to worry about. We're gonna have you go do a biopsy, you know, the mammogram, that kind of thing. They called us in and they said, okay, we have the results. I'm so sorry, you have cancer. And I mean, I was 32 years old and had 3 little kids. It was very surreal at that point to let it all kind of just sink in.
And Allie, she's tough.
For my first 4 treatments of chemotherapy were what they call the Red Devil, where I was so sick. Within hours of having that infusion, I would just feel so weak and tired and nauseous and, you know, kind of all of those symptoms.
And then she went through 16 rounds of chemo, and it was about 5 weeks of radiation.
Just did a routine scan and they found a spot in my lungs. He says, do you know what this means now? And I said, I don't know, what do we need to do? And he said, this means you have less than 6 months now. So I'll have hospice get in touch with you and we wish you the best of luck.
And Allie and I were looking at each other like, what just happened?
That was a really long drive home, thinking about how I need to tell my kids. I need to tell my kids that I'm gonna die.
You wanna get on?
That's been probably the most challenging part of our experience up until we met the Precision Genomics doctors.
Hello, how are you doing?
I first became aware of Allie when I was told that there was a patient that was seeking another opinion with regards to her breast cancer. The institution that she went to get an opinion on it, they told her that, hey, there's nothing really we can do. Which is obviously a hard thing for a mother of 3 young boys to hear.
When we met with Dr. Haslam, his attitude was so different.
You know, in my opinion, like, the less needles, the better.
Yep.
So Jared was working as an architect for Navican as they're designing their new genomics lab up in Salt Lake City. When they heard Allie's story, they sent him our way.
Because we understand that we're in a very hopeless situation, right? My wife has terminal cancer. But that doesn't mean that people can't treat you and respect you and give you hope.
From the moment he walked in the room, we knew he was different. And he said, you know what, I don't know if anything will come from this test, but I am here to make your quality of life the best it can be. He's like, that's what you need. It doesn't matter if we can find anything or not, you need to live for that family of yours. And if I can get you to live 3 extra months, in those 3 months, something else might come out that can help you.
You know, none of these treatments are perfect yet. There are still a lot of patients that we can't help. In spite of all these efforts and all these new technologies and new science that's developed, we're not there yet, and we're not going to be satisfied. We're continually haunted by those who have passed on too soon. We'll continue to work to try to find better ways to do this. So the building's going up nicely. We have a scheduled move-in date or grand opening September 7th, I think, of 2018, so roughly a year from now. In that will be housed not only the cancer center where we'll have our patients be able to come in and get their treatments and see their docs, radiation oncology, medical oncology, but they'll also be able to see these labs that we've strategically placed throughout the building. Not only our clinical genomics lab, where we'll be running these samples to be able to look for the different mutations inside that cancer, but also our Stanford Genome Technology Center will be there so that patients seeing actual work being done will offer even more hope that there's a brighter tomorrow for them in spite of their diagnosis of cancer.
Dr. Haslam called me at home on a Friday afternoon and said, I have good news for you. You know, my husband's like, oh no, what did he tell you? And I said, we have something. He has something for us to try.
So how did that first treatment go?
Great.
Did it go okay?
Yeah.
Her tumor did harbor a mutation that we could go after, and it hopefully predicts the fact that she will respond very well to these immunotherapies, this treatment. We would not have known that before had we not done this genomic analysis on her tumor.
And I said, I need to make it to November 6th. I want to celebrate one more birthday with each of them. Sorry. And so I gave myself a deadline that if I made it through November 6th, I could die anytime after that and I would be fine. And I found myself just a couple days ago talking about Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I had to stop and take a step back and realize that this doctor gave me hope that I don't think about dying every day now. And I'm now thinking about getting into Christmas with my kids.
How are you guys doing?
Doing well.
And would you say your pain's under pretty good control right now? So Allie's an interesting case, right? She lives in the Salt Lake area, and yet her oncologist lives in St. George. I travel up there enough that when it works out, I see her in person, but we do some of our visits via telehealth, tele-oncology platform, where I'm at my desk in St. George and have her visit there in Salt Lake.
Have you had to make any changes with your medications at all on that?
I can handle that through this tele-oncology platform.
Able to do everything a mom is supposed to do and throw 4-year-old birthday parties and things like that, right?
And it's changed her life. She's out playing with her kids instead of sick in bed.
Up top. Nice.
It was a good feeling like we have a doctor in our corner. He's rooting for us, and he's doing something for us that no other doctor would do for us.
What a great opportunity we have to be able to develop this program right here in southern Utah and St. George.
Just even a glimpse of what they are trying to do to help people, it's gonna light the world on fire. It's gonna spread. It's gonna do some good.